Kumo has played it in Academy so far. This split could easily go to him. Obviously, it can go to Palafox as well, but he's also played the champion. One thing I want to bring up in the champ select pools, though, is Tomo. His most played champion in summer is Xayah, and I think she is incredibly well suited in the current pro metagame.
Agree. Very
anti-melee. It's easy to get like a 3 or 4 person route.
Those damn feathers, dude.
Just with Q auto E. Like it's very easy to do so. Nautilus is a really common champion. You can ult to immune that ultimate. Like, she is very, very well positioned. I think she's a very strong pick. We might see her here from Tomo as a result. We get the Sett in for solo. I mean, obviously, a strong champ for him as well.
Yeah, definitely one of his legacy picks for all of his time playing League of Legends. And we don't get our fiddlesticks holding out for that one, but it is going to be the AP jungle regardless, matching up with those AD solo laners. Previously, as mentioned, the Nocturne, I'm a huge fan of it. It also does combine well, I feel like, with the Viego, with the Rumble, because you're trying to get one target specifically, and those long-range abilities allow you very easy target selection, so you can get the kills for Viego to get a reset, to grab a soul, make use of that passive, and really allow Kumo to shine here back on the LCS stage.
All right, Diana jungle to be grabbed up. Love it. So AP junglers on both sides. Again, when you have so commonly physical damage top mid, not a lot of people play AP bots. You want an AP jungle.
And I just always, with Diana, I talk about the combos. The most eye-catching, yes, the Yasuo. But with Sett is incredibly good too, because Sett can move people into groups and keep them there, and Diana gets this huge wombo combo. So anytime, like you're talking about, the meta revolves around a lot of melee champions. You're looking at FlyQuest. Any more champs to group them up really does do wonders. So I love Diana's Sett combinations, so always looking to really get those little bit of extra hints out of the synergies. Varus taken off the board. Honestly, to me, Varus is very, very dangerous at the moment to try and pick when there is so much dive. But as you say, we're getting closer and closer to that Xayah pick, Phreak.
Yep. And okay, Sett is tough to immune stuff for. But Diana is not. Diana dives in. You can pretty much reactively...
Easy.
Yeah, you can either block the knockup or you wait and you block the damage afterwards. Probably block the damage afterwards. The knockup's not that long on Diana's side. And yeah, then you're safe to kind of keep going. Yeah, she can use the root, but can still look good. Gnar off the table, knowing that Golden Guardians can always put Sett mid for AblazeOlive, can put it support for Chime. Sett Kalista is a good 2-on-2, so a reasonable ban to throw Gnar, even though solo plays a lot of Sett already. And we need Golden Guardians to pick a champion. They need themselves a mid-top support flex, basically, and FlyQuest needs a bottom lane.
Yeah, honestly, versus the early Kalista showing as well from Golden Guardians, it makes it kind of rough here for Tomo and Diamond coming into the LCS. One of the most banned laners around, and so they're going to go the route, it feels like, of trying to play more defensive, give up early positioning in lane, possibly give up early bottom side control to Dragons for Golden Guardians, and look to scale.
So Ezreal is interesting because he does two very distinct things. One, he is like the ultimate weak side, safe play, hide, arcane shift, shot poke, whatever. But his ult is also good in aggressive teams. He's one of the few marksmen that has reach over 1,000 range. So if you're the Nocturne Rumble team diving, you're the team hitting backline, Ezreal's one of the only bot laners that can help that.
Yeah, I love that point. Just building on the Rumble and the Nocturne earlier thing for target selection for Viego kills. Even can, if you have good timing, aim cross map as well. And the Leona, I think, pulls it all together. Because if you look at it, this comp without the Leona, you have no structure to it whatsoever. But this is a very long-range artillery-style FlyQuest comp that is looking to assassinate a player, get that reset very easily for Viego. So Kumo's position is going to be most important, and everybody else can kind of pinpoint and target that person to try and really get this team fight started.
Alrighty, so gotta see for sure if it's going to be Volibear top after all, as the anti-melee pick. Solo has always been one of the players to find more AD fighters that are kind of outside the meta. Totally viable, can be run, but no one's really hitting them. Solo, again, one of the few AD sets in the previous season. One of the only top Volibears I've seen here as well. I think Diana's staying in jungle. That's not swapping back. AblazeOlive is taking the set, but Volibear gonna come in to fight Viego. Now, Viego, of course, has % health damage, plenty of lifesteal, but I think Volibear can scratch that pretty well. We'll see if there's gonna be some maybe top dives with Solo turning off the turret and Iconic joining in, but definitely a really heavy front line for melee for both these teams with an Ezreal and a Kalista backing them up.
Volibear is also quite good at chasing Viego down if he does even get to any scrap, because you can win the fight with your Q and then ult after him and chase him down. Definitely going to be some early power on this one for Golden Guardians. We'll see if they can take advantage, because a bottom lane with the Ezreal Leona, they also have options there. Early intelligence here on the FlyQuest changes, though. Definitely still up in the air. Excited to see what putting 3 members in at the same time can actually do for them.
Yeah, that's the big story, right? These are the two teams who are currently, you know, they're bottom of the standings overall, tied for 8th, 9th, and just in 10th for Golden Guardians. They're both 3 and 8 in summer. They have not found a lot of success. So yeah, how do you claw your way back in? And I think the choices made for FlyQuest are good. They have a dominant academy team. Tomo and Diamond coming in together. They're a dominant bottom lane down there. Licorice, he's been laning well, but has not been able to convert. So bring Kumo back in. He's got some LCS experience as well, and see if this can be enough to turn the corner somewhat. And their first test is their easiest test. It is Golden Guardians.
I like this. You know, with the new members on the team coming in with a level 1 plan to try and gain an advantage. Looks like they'll just hug the Fog of War on top side, see if they can catch solo out with Diamond.
Spots Leona, I think intelligently does not drop the trinket. Anytime there is an invade like this, they will just auto and kill your trinket, and you're giving up XP and gold, so you don't bother with that one. But as he tracks them running around through the red, can say, okay, hey, they probably warded your red buff, by the way. I saw him muck up to the wall, just so you know that's the vision they've got. And Solo technically never gave away, I think maybe saw Leona, like as, you know, she probably would have seen him as he left down there, so they probably can surmise that's the information that Golden Guardians gathered. But they get to get their own deep wards and track a lot of JoseDeodo's early pathing.
I also want to talk about the weak side of the map for the level 1 plan that they had. They had Jose bottom side, drops his trinket, yellow trinket ward at his own red to defend the counter move from Golden Guardians. Thank you, observers. And he immediately just backed off and recalled to swap over to his sweeper. So anytime you do have that kind of exchange of sides in level 1 invades, it greatly benefits you to defensively ward your own buff and then switch over to the sweeper so you can clear out the junk that your opponents have left behind.
JoseDeodo, I believe, a little bit slow on his clear, does finally overheat on his 3rd shield, which feels like later than most junglers want to do, and in fact, wasting the overheat as the buff dies early. Yeah,
there's a tiny bit of leeway to be able to get the last bit of juice, but with the extra pull and the extra damage from the bottom lane there for FlyQuest, definitely not quite optimal. It's going to cruise ahead, no problem, though. Should be able to comfortably clear up, reverse clear to the top side with the ward around Raptors expiring fairly soon. And again, whenever you have Nocturne as your mid laner, it is so easy to get this push. Nocturne, Q, and the auto passive are insane. A lot of other champions have to wait on stuff like Iron Spike Whip to be able to get that kind of clear. Yeah. But Nocturne's got it built in with the passive.
Yeah, feels pretty good. Q, passive auto, not going to be too bad right there. Both junglers, by the way, doing reflected clears, right? Opposite sides of the map, going red to Krugs all the way down. They're pretty much crossing at about the same time. Iconic is maybe like 1 or 2 seconds behind Rumble's speed right now. Totally within reason, and probably both of these junglers going to get an uncontested Scuttle Crab on the opposite side, unless someone does any kind of tricky pathing to try to contest it.
And kind of as expected, the bottom side for FlyQuest does cede the early fight over the level to Kalista Alistar. So Kalista Alistar gets to push them in. We can keep track of how many CS, Tomo, and Diamond are able to get under this turret. Pretty good use so far of the execution here. And he's been able to get every single one so far. Don't curse him.
Okay, so far so good. That one's a bit low. Gets it. All right, we switch aggro. Are the casters too much? So far so good. Okay. So 15 to 23 in CS, though. There were still plenty of CS dropped in the transition down. Couldn't get everything as it pushed on in. So they will sit within about 5, within 4 as the wave answers up. Okay, so good job early for Stixxay and Chime. Alistar has such a weak level 1, but Kalista can take enough control that it still looked pretty good. Lane resets, keep watching bottom. Mid lane, pretty close right now, but AblazeOlive in the lead. It's Palafox actually playing on the backhand side, so good job AblazeOlive to have lane pressure. Ultimately not going to matter. Again, the junglers traded scuttles, no problem. They both did a 6 camp clear into Scuttle Crab, into Recall, and back on the map they go.
Yeah, I think the only extra benefit there on the side of Golden Guardians is the deep ward on Krugs, so they are going to know second Krug spawn here, because Jose did start red side. They knew he started red side, so just keeping a little bit of deep info here and makes it very easy to continually track the opponent jungler.
Yep. Okay, he did bypass the ward. He can be bottom side. They know Krugs is coming up first, who's probably bottom side, so Golden Guardians duo should play safe. They know this is where Rumble would be. If he's power clearing, he's near bot, waiting for the camp to spawn. Hey, the camp's up, Rumble's not there. Okay, he's actually somewhere. He's actually doing something. Until we see him on that ward, don't go too hard. The FlyQuest are backing up. Now they spot him, and then they go, okay, now we know where he is. Once again, we know impunity in top side. No one's there. He's on the camp. You got about 5 seconds if you want to play aggressive bot side. And lo and behold, Iconic walks up. Kumo with a well-timed trinket. Gonna grab that one. And Iconic will make his way back down to chickens.
Jungle tracking 101. It's very easy with the full clears and getting sight and seeing the count on minions there for both of them. So both of them revealed, but honestly, gonna be pretty smooth pass toward those level 6. Huge power spikes for both junglers on their 6. Kumo is gonna have a slow push back the other way now, and with Solo getting off his recall here, always interesting to see how you try and build up one of these waves to be able to buy yourself this basically mini objective to be able to utilize for either a deep roam, getting some vision, getting your recall off to get your power spike, or combining with your jungler to really bring it through. It's definitely difficult to pull off an offensive one on Volibear that early on, and with top side approaching their level 6s, will become even more safe.
Nice little play by Tomo. If you land the W, your E is heat-seeking, so gets a good trade there. Good spell, shield trades back. Very predictable, of course, on the Nocturne side. Sett's pretty much always going to put the shield on when the fear comes through. Palafox knows the same thing, and will just put the shield on and always block the W. And then you back off because you want to fight against the increased attack speed of the Nocturne. So these trades will go this way for a while. But Iconic clearing top to bot, and with a lot of bot lane pressure will be uncontested on Dragon. And it's so exciting anytime a team gets a pre-8-minute Dragon, because plenty of time for your jungler to reset, and then still happen to have the chance to fight for the Herald afterwards. So first neutral objective, grabbed, uncontested so far for Golden Guardians.
And this was our hypothesis. As soon as Champ Select and we saw the matchups, very high chance of FlyQuest giving up that early bottom side and the pressure, which leads into the early Dragon. It's about what you get on the opposite side, and they're forcing off.
They're forcing a 3-man dive. Pretty big damage, but it's going to be the ult to safety. Solo able to withstand the first bit of pressure. Ult for ult against the mid laner. Summoner TP is going to be known, but no real way to stop that one. You can't queue in without dying. The Rumble comes in, Nocturne fears you. You lose your life for that play. It's not worth it, so just deal some damage and gets out. But hey, farm, not horrible. Obviously, it is now going to be Kumo's lead because of what Solo had to give up as he walked back to his lane. The real question is, can Kumo now get his own safe recall? As it was pushed in, he wants to recall without burning the teleport. Solo not going to be willing to face check the brush, just going to push in and maybe force a TP as a result.
Yeah, just kind of pushing back on pressure now. Kumo definitely need to get his purchase off to be able to continue to have anything to say on top side. On this cannon wave, he's got a lot of time though, so you see him saving his teleport as well. Both top laners will be ready to join any sort of bottom lane skirmish. We do have all summoners available and level 6s approaching quickly for bottom side, so maybe you get your Kalista Alistar explosive play to explode around there. The only other thing I would say is that Palafox has an easier time as soon as his ultimate comes back off cooldown of joining that big scrappy fight, and especially if the top laner teleports do become a big factor. As always, if you're a little slow against the Nocturne, then you don't get to join with your teleport.
Absolutely. So looking at Kumo and what happened in just to kind of pay out what happened in top lane, he lost the cannon and two melees of XP and lost gold on everything but one caster. This is not to say it's a misplay, but it means he bought his teleport cooldown with about 150 gold, maybe 200 gold, and he can obviously pay it back with a good TP, get a kill. Hey, it's obviously worth it, but if we go 6 minutes without a TP play, well, maybe you wanted the wave instead.
Yeah, I definitely, speaking from jungler perspective, yeah, I don't really care what the top laner has to pay to keep that teleport available, especially since you are the team with Rumble, Nocturne, trying to get focus there for the kill for the Viego. Definitely want the Viego to be able to join.
Sure.
Rift Herald is the big debate, though. And with Kumo being able to push it back now on Solo, and the slight discrepancy there on the ultimate timer for Solo, maybe there's a possible play here. You already see the bottom lane starting to cheat up with the supports roaming. They've made the call for FlyQuest to leave Tomo down there for now. The Ezreal pushed in, so early move from bottom lane is in Golden Guardian's favor.
Decent early damage. Still gets the shield. Doesn't take too much back in return. Gets the cannon out of the turret. 72 gold there. And just kind of staying alive, but getting worn down a little bit. Kumo certainly has way more lifesteal as Golden Guardians have walked up. Again, as you mentioned, Ezreal being left down there. True Shot Barrage, I believe, cast into his lane for a faster push to get a couple of plates. Diamond going to be headbutt pulverized in. They're going to dive right onto him. He's going to flash for safety, and he's going to indeed stay alive. But it does mean the smite comes through and Iconic grabs Rift Herald, so a pretty clean grab. The other question, though, is how much do they lose on the other side? Because, again, Tomo was left bot lane. He does get denied probably 2 waves, and how many plates afterwards?
I'm still kind of curious about what the plan for FlyQuest of the other 4 members standing around kind of watching Rift Herald being taken was. If they actually were looking for a possible steal, or, you know, maybe they were hoping someone was out of position there to be able to capitalize in a 4v5 scenario, because for sure, there's only an Ezreal ult that could possibly come from their side from the bottom. And I actually really like when people more hard commit to giving up the Rift Herald, and maybe you get a counter jungle on your opponent's blue side, plus at least Scuttle Crab or something on the bottom side, in addition to the Ezreal pushing on turret plates. And, you know, Tomo did get some damage, but no turret plate achieved, so no actual gold in the pockets.
No plate makes it a questionable choice maybe, but again, it will put him ahead somewhat. You can see Stixxay still, though, above Tomo because of how much they were crushing bottom lane, even after dropping almost 2 waves. Still up 7 CS, gonna feel comfy down on that one. And the gold, very close. Golden Guardians up a dragon, now a mid-play. Flash gets away from the solar flare. Does Alistar want in? Looks like no. It is Aftershock. Chime will be very tanky. Not that phaser stuff we have seen before, a long time past. And ultimately, now, as recalls are coming through, Solo gets some more time topside, gets to take down the first of several plates in the top lane. But down farm, as enough pressure's been there that Kumo's got a 15 CS lead.
The Sett flash is something at least, longer cooldown. Let's take a look at the duel here first. I don't expect it to be dangerous unless they super overcommit.
Trade of stuns. Solo gonna start walking back again, waiting for his next set of cooldowns. Obviously, W spam is good, but doesn't win the auto attack trade at all. Trying to rely on Sheen to get anything back there, but Golden Guardians still pressure in the bot lane. Even again, with Kalista running top to Herald, has all the pressure. They get second dragon. Golden Guardians stacking this fast right now. They're winning in bottom lane. They're winning in mid by a little bit here, and Solo just playing weak side.
Yeah, that's why I kind of questioned the use of the 2 big ultimates, Nocturne and Leona, to get a Sett flash, which is one of the lowest, honestly, value flashes on the Golden Guardians. So without those ults, no way for FlyQuest to do anything here. Good job by Golden Guardians. You know, just using that flash plus the extra pressure here on bottom side, get dragon number 2 for themselves. They're stacking very quickly, only 12 minutes in. They also get their expected value out of this Rift Herald on bottom side and continue to funnel more money into this. Stixxay Kalista, definitely one of the better champions, right up there with the Caitlyn of yore during these international days.
Has looked good, and right now Golden Guardians on pace to find their 4th win of the split. It's a small lead to be clear, but they're doing all the right things so far. The pressure's been in the right place. They've gotten every neutral objective, and again, they're winning the majority of the lanes, just to be clear. But we've still got a lot more game to play. Items still moving in. Divine Sunderer is done for Viego. So first Mythic on the Rift is going to be that FlyQuest top laner. Kumo stepping in, filling the shoes of Licorice here. And this one is FlyQuest trying to find a roster that works. It's been a rough split so far. A rough year, sure, but Summer's looked a little bit worse for wear as other teams have improved. They've fallen in the standings somewhat. Trying to find one that goes well as we get into the mid game and try to find their first big offensive play.
Yeah, Divine Sunderer is definitely super good versus Volibear with just the kit for the champion as well as the build. I will say, too, very, very curious if FlyQuest can actually make better use of the rest of their next attempt on multi-ultimates here, because, yeah, technically the Sett flash is still going to be down. They could try and pull off something towards mid lane, but Golden Guardians are spending a bunch of resources here with Chime and Iconic working together to allow Ablaze to push in and then get the early move to, again, continue focusing on the bottom side. Stixxay and Chime have set the work.
This could be a 4v3 until the rest shows up. Big damage. Nocturne over the top as well. Iconic dives in. Iconic will die. First blood comes in for Diamond already. Low health bar gets traded back, but it's a 2-for-1. So far, so good. Stixxay flashes. Q's over the wall, but the flash follow is in, and Stixxay will drop. Burn down to kindling, and poor Chime. He's got a flash, he goes for the pulverize, but it will not trade the kill. The flames are not strong enough. JoseDeodo gets the shield as Solo just fights Palafox for nothing in the top lane.
Honestly, really good stuff here for FlyQuest, because look at all the wards from Golden Guardians. Everything laid through, and yet they kind of walked through just the person vision there from FlyQuest, and they saw the rotation down. So they knew this is coming, and they just set up in the tri-brush, wait with open arms, Nocturne ultimate to try and cut off any solo arrival, and teleport down here from Kumo. Big rewards for FlyQuest for setting this one up. Waiting in the tri-brush, immediately get the start on them. Viego's down there, so they get the reset. Yes, Diamond goes down in the counter kill, but there's no escape for the rest of Golden Guardians, as everybody still has their flashes up because there's been so little action from the beginning of the game, and makes the dive easy as well. Jose calculated everything. Rumble, a fire type, gets the extra shield off as well. Can't be taken down by the Ignite. Diamond's hyped up, back here on the LCS stage. Once again, looking at Rift Herald number 2 for the setup, though, very quickly.
Okay, here we go. Second Herald, as you mentioned, is on the table, and Golden Guardians going to be the first of the play. We've got Volibear and Viego matching off down on the bottom side. I know Solo has TP, not certain about the other side just yet, but as Diamond walks in, big damage on Chime, pops his own ulti, gonna stay alive for now. Headbutt Pulve comes in, can walk away when he needs to, is gonna do so pretty safely. Iconic does not get enough damage. Sett dunks in, Diamond low, not killed by the Ren. Smite comes in for some healing. JoseDeodo getting chased down, well below half HP. Punch comes in, putting at 300 health. Now Nocturne diving in, and they're gonna shut down Stixxay. JoseDeodo grabs a second. Actually, it's Ezreal getting all of the gold, as they're gonna grab Rift Herald as well. 3 kills unanswered, and FlyQuest have come alive.
Honors to Kumo for stopping the teleport. Phreak, I was watching the mini-map the whole time. Solo had teleport advantage. He backs off towards his tower, but Kumo went in, stuns him, and is able to stop this teleport. Yeah, you're under tower, but that's easy pickings for Kumo. Stops the teleport, and that allows FlyQuest to dive in here. You see Palafox makes the call, no hesitation there. Jumps in with the extra mystic shots from Tomo, picking off every last member of Golden Guardians. And even with the early Dragon starts for Golden Guardians, the early bottom lane dominance, back-to-back team play there from FlyQuest results in a ginormous gold lead.
Looking good. Equalizer over the top. Gonna kind of just over the top of it as well, but Solo stays alive as a result. Tries to get some of the farm. Won't get a ton, but get some damage on a Kumo. That's something there. Divine Thunder in, so he's gonna feel better about his fighting. But it is a 3v1, and Solo only has about 2,000 health. This looks diveable. Diamond can set it up. Puts up the camp emoji. He has flash. He's gonna get away from the big stun, but still chased down, as 2v1 is not gonna be enough. The ulti, flashes again away from that one. The Ignite not going to kill, so he walks away. But it does mean another turret's going to fall. The first of the game. FlyQuest have really come alive post 12 minutes. They have gotten 7-1 in kills. The only turret kill so far as well. Chasing a Tomo, able to arcane shift out from the Sett stun.
You know, it's funny too, I was talking to Palafox last night. He was like, yeah, I've only had like 1-2 games of Nocturne in the past month before yesterday. Very confident to pull it out on stage though, and they're making really good use of it as a team. Multiple big team plays from FlyQuest to get this gold lead. Dragons continue to go the way of Golden Guardians though, off of that reset. You know, they did get FlyQuest more kills, more towers on the bottom side of the map, but the Dragon Soul will be approaching 450 in the future. Is the Cloud Soul, but the extra speed actually can go a long way with these, melee heavy compositions, trying to rush through, especially when you're trying to get off the Rumble ultimates, try and work your way around, dodging possible Leona stuff there. So definitely will still be important.
Alrighty, next play coming forward soon. I gotta believe the Dragon 3-0 is impressive by Golden Guardians on that front. So now FlyQuest have to be on notice. They don't want to give away Dragon Soul. Gold, though, looking pretty good on the FlyQuest side. 3,500 lead. Herald nearly cracks mid lane. We should grow it even further, but won't happen just yet. But, you know, one good wave push is going to make that one happen. Baron on the table in 112. And I'm still looking at FlyQuest. They have been the ones to find the openings. The Nocturne ults, layering damage over the top. That's worked beautifully. Just looking for the next one.
And it is going to be a little bit difficult here as the game moves on for Golden Guardians to actually kill this Ezreal. They are fairly short range, so they have to rely on their dive to get back there with some good flanks. You know, Alistar Sett. See if this one pick actually results in another kill solo. Yeah, you can spam your taunt as much as you want. The camp emote goes up again, but you're dead again.
Dead again. AblazeOlive once and Palafox can't find it as Chime blast cones over, but Palafox plays it far enough back that he's going to be fine. Nice Nocturne ult into the Viego TP to get that 3v1 kill on the bottom side. Solo now down to his first death. Trails the team in death count, so hey, not doing a horrible job there, but there's been a lot of pressure that's gotten Kumo to a good spot. 20 CS lead, 1-0-2, looks good. Golden Guardians able to answer a turret as mid lane falls. All three outer turrets are now dead, and FlyQuest can keep the pressure on. Gold lead still 3,500 as they claim objectives.
Yeah, it should be easy now for them to keep up the side lane pressure, pushing these in. You see some really good deep wards on the blue side of the map set up. And while these are very, very premature for the dragon spawn, it's important to have that first step already laid because wards are consecutive, you know, kind of power spikes here where first line allows you to more safely get the next line in there. Stixxay chases Tomo off here, but red buff Ezreal, no problems. Evading and healing back up. Now counter engage.
Son of a Chime burns the ulti, goes for damage on a diamond. Very tanky though on Leona. Ezreal, true shot barrage hits too iconic, forced to flash away. AblazeOlive is left alone. Golden Guardians continually unable to be on the right place at the right time. FlyQuest with the killer instinct find the kills.
Yeah, and guess what? That means a Baron signal here. 30 seconds on AblazeOlive. Let's take a look at the turn from FlyQuest. They still do have Nocturne ultimate, but that's the only ultimate they have. So a little bit dangerous for them. I think Golden Guardians should get in here to try and contest.
Olive has TP, so 15 seconds till he can show up in that fight. Basically, Diamond spotted now by a ward. Chime can still frontline. Does not have ultimate. Kalista does. They dive onto that Kalista. Stixxay tries to stay alive.
Yeah.
Iconic builds a ton of space, and they nearly find that kill in a Palafox. All they need to do is buy the time, but Solo wants in. But Solo goes down. This was unneeded. But the TP finally comes in, but has it been too little? Shield bow pop. Stixxay kiting, surviving, staying alive. Iconic gets one Solo. Oh my gosh, even though he has died, the rest of his team picks up the scraps. Golden Guardians take that second fight 3-1.
Phreak, just a couple of seconds delay on the re-engage.
Yeah.
If Solo just delayed it a little bit for the channel time, Ablaze, he might have had 2 or 3 seconds left on his death timer as Volibear jumps back in. So Golden Guardians had the right idea there. You contest it. You don't fully engage until Ablaze is actually revived, so then he can teleport in. But they mess up the timing a little bit. FlyQuest, they force in immediately with that Nocturne ultimate, and you can see the turnaround here. But this point, that point, if they delayed it a couple more seconds, and it was actually 4 seconds left on the death timer for Solo there, or for Ablaze before he can teleport in. Then the Sett does arrive, though. You see Jose is actually zoned off. He gets the ult in. They kill off the Viego critically before the extra champion dies there and allows Viego to get a reset. So it was very close to being well executed.
30 seconds on the Dragon. Dragon Soul on the board for Golden Guardians. Move speed incredibly relevant in a melee-heavy game. We're going to see as they walk in, they want the wards, they want the vision. This river belongs to Golden Guardians, but the wallets are still bigger on FlyQuest. Their items are still more numerous, their items are stronger. Golden Guardians have to play this game well, they play the fights well. Dragon is alive. Kalista can easily stack spears forever, but the rest of it is what matters. Solo gonna be found out. Dropped to 600 health, gets the shield. Nocturne dives in, flashes in, brings the Nocturne over, but Kumo has killed Solo, and the resets can begin. AblazeOlive gets the shield, gets a dump back. Big damage comes across. Stixxay gets a kill on the Palafox. Kumo still alive as Stixxay dropped dangerously low. AblazeOlive the same, but it's a 2-for-1 team fight so far. The question now is the poke, because Tomo is alive. This Ezreal can win the fight by himself if you can't get back on. There is no ults up for Golden Guardians, no flashes either. They cannot force the engage. Tomo can honestly win this fight 3v4, and you can see by the positioning, that's what's happening. Stixxay goes to the Gromp to lifesteal to get his health bar enough up that he feels like he can actually fight. Goes to 2/3. AblazeOlive dangerously low. But the jungler here on both sides. Will they get the Ren Spite? Will they get Dragon Soul? Or does Tomo get everything done as Kumo comes in? The TP to rejoin, though, for Solo could be all that they need, though. It's a 4v3. Kumo can't join for a few more seconds. He comes back around, and that's the Spite. That's the claim. That's Dragon Soul for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, Jose doesn't want to take the blast code in, and Golden Guardians get it. The Cloud Soul achieved here, and this could be the hope for the Golden Guardians turning around some of these fights. You saw how much DPS Stixxay is able to put out, hopping around with the rest of the team, creating so much space with these combos. Iconic as well. Diana's putting out a tremendous amount of pressure here, and now with an extra stopwatch available for a next fight, 6 stacks now on the Dark Seal. Golden Guardians set for a resurgence.
Okay, does the move speed make up for the gold deficit? They have been winning fights. To be clear, even with the deficit, it's clearly been going okay.
I will say the Ezreal is still going to be a very big problem, though, and it is Muramana transformed for Tomo. He's got double item power spike. These are the opportunities where if you don't have flashes on a lot of these all-in champions, you know, the Alistar, the Sett, if they don't have flashes, it becomes very difficult to deal with the Ezreal. Tomo's waiting a few more seconds on his own flash cooldown. Once he has that, maybe he'll be able to navigate all of these divers with the Diana and the Alistar Sett constantly looking for him on the backside. With the added benefit of having Nocturne, can definitely be the difference maker.
Mid pressure, bot pressure looking good. Kumo has honestly been a bright spot all game long. Overall, ended up winning his lane. He's been a huge side lane pressure valve as well. 3-1-4. Takes down the bottom tier 2 turret unanswered. Finally, the Sett recalls to join, but hey, looking pretty good. 14.5 right now on that Viego. JoseDeodo even gets to counter jungle, and now mid-tier 2 is under pressure. Golden Guardians losing a lot of wave control and a lot of turret damage all the way across the map.
And that's going to continue to happen because of the nature of their comp. They're extremely short range here, so the Cloud Soul is paramount. You have to all in on any of your choices. If you get poked out, if FlyQuest are able to delay around objectives, if they land enough poke, if they're able to get positioning on these objectives first, towers or neutral objectives regardless, that's where FlyQuest continue to accumulate these advantages and continue to increase their discrepancy here over Golden Guardians. It's up to Golden Guardians to make use of the extra burst of speed with your Cloud Soul, make use of your flashes to all in and complete the team fight quickly.
Pretty gold handed over to Solo as they move on towards their next items. The Thornmail in lets his Q apply 60% Grievous Wounds, but that's it. Not getting a huge Grievous upgraded with it, but obviously finishing a Legendary is solid as Golden Guardians wants to control the top river right now. And it feels like, yes, their comp is short range and they've got to go for the all-ins, but it feels like they're doing a pretty good job controlling the map. FlyQuest playing a lot more around the sides as far as I can tell. Bot and top are still pushed in well past the river. Tomo obviously feels safe in mid. Diamond seems comfortable as the Volibear walks in. Arcane Shift back where it's flash available if he needs it. And here come the teleports in. Each side actually bringing that summoner TP across, and everyone's going to stay alive. Nocturne ult was popped. Leona did the same. Every cooldown on Golden Guardians, though, is still up, so they've got better tools. Diamond not going to go for much of a slow right here. Still going for poking through the sides. Tomo still very hard to catch. He kept his flash from last time.
I think they should definitely just push this mid wave. FlyQuest, keep Golden Guardians at arm's length.
Okay, they're going to find the stun now onto the front line. Locker comes across. Big damage. Solo nearly dead, and he will drop. Kumo is in, and now he is the Volibear. Kalista brings back her support, but this fight looks very good. Sett dunk comes across AblazeOlive with a giant shield. Kumo may lose his life, and he will drop. 4v4, but JoseDeodo can still push. He's got a lot of damage. Chime goes in for the double pull, but it will not get anything done. He dies for the play. Maybe would have died anyway. Flash over Palafox. Does he have the damage? Spell shield popped off. Ren will not kill him. Gets the fear. Gets the shut down the Tomo, and AblazeOlive now has to run for his life, but Diamond is there to prevent that running. He has hobbled him. That's the triple kill in for the AD carry. Tomo, in his debut in the LCS, is popping off.
And FlyQuest Academy strikes again. Tomo is able to shine here. Phreak, range advantage is OP. What is the best stat in late game League of Legends? It's got to be range. Look at the damage numbers here for Tomo. Ezreal, he does a very good job saving his cooldowns, using them meticulously versus Golden Guardians, and you saw so many attempts there from the Golden Guardians front line. Solo's just walking at them, and they really suffer here from a lot of the AoE. And then FlyQuest, they jump in as they get a target low for the execution there from Kumo, and they do focus down one target. It gets a little bit dicey with the Rend for a second, but the damage has been done. There's no more front line left. The health bars have been whittled down enough by FlyQuest that they have full autonomy here. Palafox can flash right in because he knows, guess what? Ezreal can jump right over the side of that red buff as well. Tomo's got your back, and FlyQuest pick up the extra kills. They pick up the Baron in the aftermath, and despite the Cloud Soul going over to Golden Guardians, now FlyQuest have the pushing power.
And with Cyrilda's in for Tomo, he can keep dealing incredible damage to frontline, but we have to refocus on the fact that Elder Dragon's up in 30. Another fight begins now. Decent damage onto frontliners. Dunk comes across. Zhonya's pop with the JoseDeodo. Could be the target, but he's invincible for so long. Sett comes in. Solo over the top. They get the shutdown in a rumble. He was deathless up until that point as Kumo is forced to ulti away. The second kill comes across. AblazeOlive on the Sett is such a big deal. The Bash brothers of the Sett and the Volibear have done so much, and the Dragon's up in 10 seconds. And how do you take it when you have no smite and they have a Kalista?
AblazeOlive with the flank there. Phreak gets him close range, and guess what? You don't fight the dragon. You go for the split push with your Baron buff. This is going to mean Golden Guardians will have supremacy as far as team fights, but they already kind of had supremacy in the team fights if they can lock you down and force the all-in. So it doesn't change a tremendous amount the way that FlyQuest want to play this game. They're going to try and use their Baron buff to split push. They try and push up their minion waves, and they're going to hope to wait out the Elder Dragon buff.
And this is interesting because the way the fights are going, it doesn't seem like Tomo is the target. They're just DPS racing. Like, yeah, Tomo, you're really deadly. You're on 3-Atom Ezreal. Okay, cool. As you go Frozen Heart next, like, yes, the attack speed still matters. You're actually helping your team frontline. I don't think it's actually a bad build, even though he's not really the target. But if Golden Guardians win the DPS race and they kill 2, Tomo's not like, well, I'm not going to 1v5 this. He's going to leave. And Golden Guardians gets the result. They get the objective afterwards. So a negative 1,000 gold Baron power play here for FlyQuest. Like, yeah, that's a tough one. The fight over Elder Dragon went the way of Golden Guardians. So fighting back here at a very scrappy battle. 16-9 in kills. Tomo's still huge, yes, but might not be enough to carry over the finish line as Golden Guardians finally get the third outer turret. Rumble ult just for wave clear will be enough to keep the tier 2 from being pushed.
Problem is, it gets harder and harder the longer the game goes for meatball strategies to work out. It gets more difficult to find good flanks, find these good all-ins, and the flashes, again, are incredibly critical in getting that connection so you can actually go for the DPS race. So you can actually, force your extra kills here through. Golden Guardians, though, they feel this pressure, so they're going to get right back to it. Elder Dragon still on for another minute, and that means you got to give ground. No way you're going into the Elder Dragon team, and that's going to mean you give up towers.
Well, top is pushed in. It's on Golden Guardians side of the map. They had sent Solo down to the bottom lane to get that one set up. Maybe bot lane tier 2 can be attacked in time, but it doesn't look like they're in much of a rush. Golden Guardians tie up the turret score, and this brings the gold within 2,300. It has shrunk since that 15-minute mark, and they, of course, still have the Cloud Soul, which makes the map mobility feel really good. You're seeing, yeah, that was a spike for a bit, but Golden Guardians have clearly kept the game within striking distance from the worst it was earlier.
It's interesting, too, because they cannot really effectively siege. So it has to be rotations around the map and just forcing possible dives. You've got Volibear, you've got Alistar. An extended siege does not benefit you in any way. More Mystic shots are going to land, more chip damage, more opportunities. So if you force with possible threatening of Alistar and Volibear ultimates there, that's where you have to make FlyQuest seed ground, seed objectives. And Golden Guardians do a good job of brute forcing themselves some more money off these secondary turrets.
And it looks like, I think a lot of the pressure is on Stixxay to stay alive. Because you talk about meatball comps, and we mentioned the fact that Ezreal is almost uncatchable here, especially as he finishes Frozen Heart now. He's just like not realistically going to die. I think Kalista is a required component of finishing the kills on the FlyQuest champions. Like the way these champs itemize, right? Like look at Solo's path. He had Divine Sunderer, and then a tank item, in the tank item, in the tank elixir. It's like, well, at a certain point, you're not killing things fast anymore, and it's on Stixxay to finish the kills. if I'm looking at him as like the key component.
I got bad news for Golden Guardians. Kalista's about to be over the hill here.
Yeah.
Kalista's power spike has been achieved. You've seen the greatest hits. From this point on, it gets more and more difficult for Kalistas to carry team fights.
Yeah.
Because champions, as we get later and later into the game, you get more and more tanky just with base stats from leveling up, even if they're not building tank items. But as the build's fully complete, everything comes in. You know, you've got Frozen Heart here now on Tomo as well, level 16 for the Ezreal. It does get more and more difficult for the Kalista to finish people off. Yeah, Iconic can add some, and he's got magic penetration fully acquired, 10 stacks on the Darksteel, so maybe even goes as far as to upgrade to a Medjai's for hoping for that big fight and looking for a big wombo. That's got to be the angle for Golden Guardians, because if the game keeps on going super long, then again, there's no way you can really buy extra range in here, because the only item that gives it is on a single auto attack, and it's a terrible item for Kalista. So.
Not going to do that one. No RFC, thank you very much. It's probably going to be finish the Rage Blade, then Lord Dominik's to finish out the build. We may see Tomo go for, I almost want to say like Ruin King, but I'm not sure what fits the build perfectly here in this one. Dragon was still a minute and a half. Baron is up.
Watching as well some of these wards. Wards are so critical now for Golden Guardians because they do have teleport for solo, so possible teleport. They're using their vision control over ban to try and bait FlyQuest into close range.
Three-shot barrage sees the Kalista. Spear stacking up for the team fight's what matters. Solo spot on the far side of the fight. Does it get much done against Palafox? But Pulp comes in. Kumo could be the target. Has flash, has ult. Flash the way, stays alive, turns invis. Over the top comes Sett. Is it too much though? A big shield, 1,000 damage for the punch, but re-engaging by Palafox. They're gonna find the fear, but not the kill. However, Viego does. That's a 1-for-0. Huge. Diana sets it up, but huge stunts comes across. Diamond is there, but Diamond is overextended. Now Solo is tanky, but Solo will die. 2-for-2 fights so far. Palafox right back in the front, but Kalista is the one untouched. Double kill for Stixxay. 3v3. Ezreal poke now the name of the game. Throwing out skill shots. Golden Guardians dodging them. 3v3 again is the fight. Tomo alive. The same for Stixxay.
And guess what? There's 35 seconds left on the Elder Dragon as well. It's a bit easier to take than Baron, so spending their time right now clearing out a lot of these wards for FlyQuest. Teleport will be available as well.
Yeah, Golden Guardians will be there with full health though. Like, they pulled the recall card first. If you have TP, you can show up in time. So Palafox can indeed recall, then be there. But Ezreal won't be in this fight. If they rush Elder Dragon, Ezreal is not going to be in range to throw auto attacks, to throw missile shots, to throw anything. So Golden Guardians, by recalling first, can be the first to Elder Dragon. They're TPing in. They're going to rush this thing.
All right, Stixxay's got the Lord Doms. This is it. Full shield built up with the Bloodthirster as well. Can Golden Guardians force this one through? The critical fight about to open.
And there's no vision, right? They got a control ward down. They're warding up the jungle. They took the blast plant. This is going to be a tough walk in for FlyQuest as Dragon's being burned down. Could be an easy contest. Could be an easy smite. They're going to claim it. And now do you even take this battle? Yes, it's going to be Golden Guardians who wants it. They're going to go in. JoseDeodo flashes away. Solo fights on the bottom side, though. Left a bit alone. But Diana comes in for 4. And Tomo's going to drop. And it's going to be an absolute slaughter. There is no way FlyQuest will stay alive. Golden Guardians deletes them off a great play for Elder Dragon and an even better engage afterwards.
Golden Guardians did it. They burned down the dragon so fast. FlyQuest aren't able to say anything about it. This doesn't mean that they get inside the base though, because Jose heads up play, goes to cut the wave on mid. Golden Guardians now, 35 seconds left on Palafox, 27 left on Tomo. They've got some time to work with, but it's not going to be enough to break the base, and they turn their sights towards the Baron instead. Should be able to get this buff for the secondary push.
I like the heads up play. The wave was in a decent spot. You can take the time to make sure you get top tier 2, then fall back to the Baron, claim that one. It does time out the Elder Dragon somewhat, but I think that's an okay choice here as they're going to grab the Baron. They will take the gold lead for the first time in almost the entire game as Red Bull Baron is picked up there, and Golden Guardians looking well poised in this one.
You are punished so heavily for arriving late to these end game objectives. FlyQuest walk up after Golden Guardians already burn it down, so they're wearing Elder Dragon and they're close range. Full engage from Golden Guardians, no hesitation. Chasing down 3 members here, immediately gaining the opening to go pick up Baron. Now they've got the double Uber buff, 50 seconds left on Elder, and with Baron for quite a while, this is going to be what they need. Again, remember, with Volibear ult and Alistar ult, you just threaten the dive. You don't want a prolonged siege on these inhibitor turrets. You can actually pull the trigger here. It does get dicey, so maybe they try and protect and rely on some of these cannon minions with the Baron buff. It's going to be a lot on FlyQuest here. How much can they do to clear out these Baroned up minions?
It's not going to be easy. You've got that one
They've got
range
two people
champion.
in base. This wave is going to be enough. They're just right in.
Yeah.
Phreak, it's gone.
I mean, there's no way you can really defend this one. You're still against Elder 15 seconds. You have to give mid inhib, I feel like. I think there's no realistic way that defense ever works when fully ults your turret. So it's the Nexus that matters. Rumble ult doesn't do that much damage to minions. I don't love that cooldown being wasted. And so Golden Guardians just go for the fight. I think it's a crucial mistake for JoseDeodo. Down goes Kumo already, and this fight should just be easy. Palafox is next on the platter. Gets punched, does not quite die though. But still, who can deal damage anymore? Rumble can't burn them. 2 for nothing. The turrets are gonna fall. And Golden Guardians, in a bloodbath of a game, take down FlyQuest.
Let's go, Golden Guardians! They rack up another win here on the LCS stage. Meatballs with the heart of Kalista.
And I love it. I think this is absolutely a meta game that suits Hurricane users. We know Kalista is highly prized everywhere around the world. Stixxay got his hands on it this time. Anytime you're against 3 melees, my golden rule is it's Hurricane time, because you're gonna get max value out of that item. Who better than Kalista to stack up Ren Spears on them as well? And it worked beautifully. Throw in your tank. Well done to Golden Guardians. Solo playing weak side of this one. They got a lot done down at bottom. They got every single dragon. They got contested a little bit. They lost some fights in the mid game, but the objectives were always on point. They got what they needed.
And that's one of the critical things, is getting the dragons so early there. Stacking dragons for Golden Guardians, getting access to the Elder Dragon this early in the game is one of the big things. Not only do you get your Dragon Soul earlier in the game, but you also make sure that there's more neutral objectives on the map to draw FlyQuest to you, so that you don't have to play siege games. You don't have to play the long-range game. And they get these engages over and over. Good flashes in. You know, Alistar, Sett, Volibear, continually finding the connection that they need, chasing them down. Stixxay staying upright on the Kalista, pumping out DPS with all of his heart. And they're able to pick up the W. Really nice stuff there from Golden Guardians.
So now we get to see what else happens. Obviously, this week is over for most of the teams now. I've always got one more game today, but it's Sunday. We have to wait a few more days for the next week. We're going to a new patch, by the way, as well, which is going to be interesting. So for a lot of these teams, like, you're going to come back into scrims, and the game will be different. I mean, quite literally, like, there's, you know, change items, whatnot. But, okay, then the metagame will be a bit different, right? People will make different choices around it. So you still have to keep up. And I'm curious like what that looks like next time, because, hey, getting the Kalista in this comp, it worked great. But you got to find a new version for next week as well.
Because, to your point, and part of the reason you're teasing this, is because it is such a perceived meta shift with the new items empowering split push. That would be really good if you're against a team that's just all this short range 5-on-5 that has to, you know, jump on you. If you've got Hull Breaker or something, if you're banging away on inhibitor turrets while that is happening, it puts way more pressure. So excited to see the changes for next patch and the effect on Pro that we're going to get with some of the items as well as the champions.
Oh, sorry, please.
And how it can affect, you know, some of the state of the meta right now.
So one final point before we do join Dash on stage. I want your quick report card. How'd you feel about FlyQuest bringing in the new roster today?
Honestly, I did think it was a good performance, you know, first right out of the gate on stage here. They looked fairly coordinated as far as staying on the same game plan for some of their early plays and the way that they wanted to execute their comp. Couple of little mispositionings as far as getting caught on some of these later game objectives. But when you're slapped in just like that in the middle of a week, last game of the weekend, honestly, pretty decent.
Yeah, very happy with Tomo specifically. I thought he played a very good Ezreal game, but now it is time to join Dash on stage with Solo.